It's gonna be insane out here in Phuket. It's gonna turn into Bali at the end of this year. Like the next high season, like even this high season, it's not ending. There's more and more people. It's even more people now than there were in December. Everyone in December was saying, oh no, it's not what they expected. But now April is coming, Songkran is coming. And the extended Songkran.
I don't know where's next. I mean, we're thinking Phang Na, but
It's gonna be boring.
I know, and then we were thinking
You want to find that middle ground. Phang Na is super boring. Phuket is super overwhelming. Live on the bridge.
Welcome to Fruiting Body Podcast with your host Brendan. Today we have an absolute legend of a guest. It's the ex-producer. It's Hans and Franz. It's Body. It is Heinrich Badenhorst, the former producer of this podcast. He's live in the flesh. He's going to tell you everything that went on behind the scenes here, how I used to beat his nuts with a car antenna.
Maybe not.
And it's going to get absolutely wild. Who are we? Fruiting Body Podcast. We are a medicinal mushroom company on the island of Phuket. We're doing lion's mane, reishi, cordyceps, all the high-end mushroom extract stuff. We're trying to bring value back to the world, unlike those, podcasts giving you beer and sugar water. We're not here for your money. We're here for your health. So let's get this started. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And Heinrich Badenhorst.
Thank you for having me, finally.
Okay, how are we actually going to pronounce your name?
Heinrich. But you could just say Hans. You always say Hans.
I said if I just roll everything, it's going to work.
You have to roll the R's,
All
not everything.
the H's, the E's, the R's, the D. I'm rolling it all.
CH at the end is a
Yeah.
that's
See,
it.
if I roll it all, I'll hit it out of the park. We're in Thailand. We're in Phuket. We're going to get this started right away. Hans, let's hear a little bit about your story. We'll get to the producer stuff later. And obviously, Hans Media, go check them out. Links in the description. You want that media shit done. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Pornhub. What else? Pinterest. OnlyFans. He's doing it all. So we'll talk a lot about the media side. He's been doing all of our media as well. And now we're going to be doing some cool stuff. We're doing photo shoots. And we're going to be, we have a new type of content. We're doing People of Thailand or something like that. We're going to call it. That's coming out. But first, you're from South Africa. Just take us through your story as a young Hans in South Africa. Just walking around, enjoying life, and somehow stumbled on a plane and ended up in Thailand. Tell us that story.
Yeah. So straight out of high school, I went to university, and university didn't quite work out for me. That's a whole long story why it didn't work out. But I ended up coming to Thailand in 2016, and I did like a TEFOL course, which most people do, especially South Africans when they come to Thailand. 3 weeks TEFOL course, and then I got placed in a school, and I was teaching for about probably 10 months in Thailand. And I was kind of living that backpacker life, not really not a actual qualified teacher, but I got my TEFOL. And I was placed in this very rural area of Thailand, outside of Bangkok, probably an hour out of Bangkok. And
Looks better. All right, cool.
oh yeah.
So you're outside.
Anyways.
Yeah, continue.
An hour out of Bangkok. And that was my first experience of Thailand, my first experience working in Thailand. Didn't really do it 100% by the books, so it didn't really work out in the end. Went back to South Africa, met Chante, my wife-to-be, and it took about a year and a half of convincing that Thailand isn't all about ladyboys and all that. It's actually a beautiful country, there's nice people, there's a lot of opportunity as well. So we came back in 2018 and we started teaching again. We actually came for a holiday in Phuket and then ended up staying because she had a friend here. So
In Bangkok,
yeah. And this friend got us a job at a school. And then we were teaching for probably a year and a half before I got an opportunity here in Phuket to work at a marketing agency.
Oh yeah, what was the name? I worked with them too, right?
E-Media.
E-Media. Daniel.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Shout out Daniel.
Is that company still around?
Yes.
Is it?
Yeah. He'll probably watch this.
Oh, I wasn't sure. Cool.
Shout out Daniel.
Shout out E-Media. We'll leave a link, description, so many links. Check all those links. okay, so you're
Yeah.
in Bangkok. You got the
I got this job, and I flew to Phuket by myself. And then Chante and I did like long distance for probably around 9 months
oh shit.
in 2019. And then March of 2020, you know, the whole situation happened. I don't know if you still don't say that word.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if COVID's banned
Probably
yet.
doesn't matter anymore.
No.
But then that situation happened, and I was kind of, they had to let me go because they obviously lost all their clients. We were mainly dependent on the tourist industry, you know, like most businesses are in Phuket. And then they had to kind of let me go. I flew back to Bangkok and got a job at Chante's school again, teaching for a couple of months. And then eventually, as COVID started to die down, we started traveling again. We opened we started like a little travel page. And then I got a job again here in Phuket at a much smaller company, which didn't quite work out. Worked there for about maybe 3 months. And then started my own thing. It's kind of like a kick in the ass to say, hey, stop, start doing your own thing. And that's where we are. That was about 2021. And then here we are. I think we started working with you in that same year, no?
Jeez, yeah, I thought you were here during COVID. I guess you weren't. I was just drunk on the beach for 2 years straight. It's a blur.
Yeah, it's
but I mean, it was actually a pretty good 2 years. So shout out to Lex. It was just me and him throwing a frisbee on Surrey Beach. There's nobody there, and just crushing San Miguel lights. Like
that's the good old
It was
days.
literally my job. If I was getting paid for crushing San Miguel lights during COVID, like I would be a millionaire right now. Okay, so
You still crush them though.
I've been a good boy. I've been pretty good lately.
Oh yeah.
I haven't been out much.
Apparently,
right?
Yes.
You know,
Apparently.
I go out every maybe once a month max, and then I cry and eat pizza and watch Back to the Future and pretend it never happened. Okay, jumping to the Bangkok side, I think this is an interesting point for people looking to move here, especially getting TEFOL and working maybe in government schools or any type of education. The grind is real, the struggle is real, because Thailand in particular for teaching, let's say English, unless you're at an international school, it does not pay that well. So it can be challenging, way different compared to if you're like teaching English as a second language in China, which pays very well. So can you talk a little bit about like, what were you guys actually making as a couple living in Bangkok? Like, what was your budget like? Because I don't think a lot of people really understand. You kind of living in Thailand and teaching, you're kind of trading cash for freedom and the beautiful beaches. That's basically what it is. Otherwise, you can go to China and make a lot of money and live in some shithole in some polluted city, and it's absolutely horrendous. So you pick your battles.
Well,
yep.
Well, when I started in Bangkok, I was earning like 30,000 baht.
This is
Because
normal. Yeah.
I don't have a teaching degree, and there are kind of ways around that. And Chante was earning. She worked at an international school, and she was earning about 40,000 baht. So together, that's a pretty decent salary, and our rent was only 15,000 baht in a very nice condo in the middle of Bangkok. But if you get a job if you're a very qualified teacher, if you have a degree and you go to an international school, you have experience, you can earn a pretty decent salary. But I'd say like if you're just starting out, I think the max you're going to start with is like 80,000 maybe. But if you're working at say like a university, they pay really well.
Yeah.
But you need experience, you need those qualifications, and then you can stay in a nicer condo. But I mean, I think we've always found pretty good deals when it comes to condos and accommodation in general. And, you could find a condo like ours for 15,000, but you can find the one next door, different owner, he charges you 25 for the same thing.
Yeah, it's Thailand. It's if you can take your time looking for accommodation, that's a game changer. I mean,
Yeah, you
even
have to.
like my place is unheard of, but I got this during COVID. Like this is crazy how much we pay here. But yeah, Thailand, it's like you said, one neighbor is 10, the next is 15, the next is 25. Stripping it down to like budget, like in monthly expenses, so people can understand that side. Like, are you able in Bangkok? Like, now obviously Bangkok, the cost of living is way less. The street food is very good, and it's much cheaper. Phuket, you just don't have the option, so you're kind of forced into either cooking or Western food. But let's focus on Bangkok, and then we'll compare that to Phuket. In Bangkok, like budget, food, lifestyle, entertainment, how are you budgeting that?
Well, it depends on what kind of lifestyle you want to live. You want to live a healthy life, because you can find Thai food fairly cheaply. Back then in Bangkok, we weren't necessarily counting our calories and everything. We were kind of like working, get up in the morning, get on the bike, drive through Bangkok traffic, try to make it in time for work, maybe grab something on the side of the road, like a mooping and a sticky rice and whatever. So it can be quite cheap. Budget-wise, I think on groceries, we spent around 2,000 to 4,000 baht a month.
But then you're eating out most of the time.
Yeah.
That's why. You're grabbing like, pork sticks and...
Grab, Food Panda.
Yeah.
That's, a lot of that. During COVID, a lot, actually. And because we were there in Bangkok during COVID, we had to stay inside. We were like quarantined inside the condo. So all you can really do is go to 7-Eleven, make your own food, or order Grab, which is also not always really available. And everything was so quiet there. So it wasn't really that bad during COVID in Bangkok. But
at least there's more options for the street food in Bangkok compared to Phuket. I mean, they have a lot of, places, mom and pop shops that have been there for like 20 years, and it's like Michelin star.
We try to stay away from the street food. I mean, you can do it like once or twice a week, but then like your butthole just starts aching, and like you start to gain a bunch of weight, and like you don't really understand, Thai food's healthy, it's just meat and rice. It's not. It's a lot of like other stuff.
Sauces
sugar,
and
sauces full of sugar. It's super high calorie. But
tons of MSG.
It's so delicious though. I love Thai food.
Yeah, I mean, there's the MSG alone is packed in there. Now,
anyways, your question was budget-wise, sorry.
Yeah.
So our rent was like 15,000, but we earned 30 plus 40,000, and food-wise, we would spend like 2,000 to 4,000 baht a month on food, and we never really went out, because that's the thing that costs you the most money, even in Phuket. Bangkok too, it can cost you so much money to go out and go drinking. For Chante and I, it's double, so it's like 4,000 baht, go out, and in Bangkok especially, it's so expensive. But
yeah, I mean, even if you're going out and just having like Leos and beers, even at a Thai like beer garden, I mean, we could probably throw back 10 each. Chante's definitely gonna throw back a few, but the reality is, yeah, you could easily spend, two of you, easily 3,000 in a night, no problem, which is equivalent to the price of the groceries. So if you're coming here to live in Thailand and you're not a drinker, like Kevin, my buddy Kevin, you'll spend nothing. But if you're going out and it's literally only the alcohol that's going to get you out there. I mean, the fire shows are free. Someone's singing on the corner on a stool. But if you're drinking, throwing back beers. And the other issue, too, in Phuket is like, it's not like the Western world where, maybe you go out at 7 and they shut the doors at 12. The bar doesn't shut the doors till there's no one left.
Especially if you know the owner.
Oh, yeah.
It's a local spot. The owner just stays open, and they'll, kind of still give you beers and whatever under the counter, and it just keeps going. How it goes.
I love it. I do love it. Yeah, maybe once a month. It's a good little reset button. Now, making that move from Bangkok into Phuket, there's a lot of things where, it gets a bit more expensive, especially on rent and maybe what you would expect out of accommodation compared to Bangkok to Phuket. Can you explain a little bit, what can people expect in terms of maybe number of bedrooms, square meter, and the difference of accommodation between Phuket and Bangkok?
Well, in Bangkok, we had like a 1-bedroom condo for 15,000, which I think is still pretty cheap. 15,000 is pretty cheap for for a nice condo in the middle, in the CBD of Bangkok. But in Phuket, you're not going to get away with that easily. Like small little, tiny little condos are at least 25,000 baht. We got really, really lucky with the place that we're staying in now. We kind of got the place at like the end of COVID as things started to die down, but there still weren't a lot of tourists here. We got in touch with this guy, and it was actually on Airbnb for 16,000, and it's a 3-bedroom with modern furniture and everything. It was on for 16, and we said to the guy, hey, we'll move in next month if you can drop it to 13. And he said, fine, whatever. And we moved in, and he's never raised the price. So that's what we're paying now. You can watch the full video. Actually, you can see the tour and everything on Ryan Rural.
I think now it's called Life in Rural Thailand. Yes. It was Life in Bamboo. I'll try to, I always say link in the description. I never put any of them. Every video where I say link in the description, there might be an Instagram. That's about it. So, but link in the description.
Yeah, you can watch Ryan's video. He came in and invaded our house there.
Yeah.
And he flew the drone so you can see every freaking inch of our house. But actually, like the houses opposite us, the lady there is charging, because we had friends that went to inquire, and she says 30,000, 40,000.
Yeah, I would say yours today is probably worth, if the landlord's watching,
he's not.
No, he's definitely not watching. I would say yours rent, 25, 30. Honestly, and if they push, they could get 40 out of that place.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's 3 bedrooms, and
it's not that far off. Like, you're pretty close to the monument. You're kind of by the lake. Let's call it the dam.
The dam.
Yeah. I'm actually looking to move out that area. I like it out there.
Manik. Yeah. Manik is amazing. It's so nice. It's quiet. There's never any police. There's never any traffic, except if you go to the monument. But we don't really need to go that way. We can go to Robinson. And then if we have to cut to Tai Watsuru, if we have to go up, we can drive through. We can cut through Tai Watsuru. It's just if you're going right the other way, you can cut through Kokau. There's a little road there. So we never really need to hit the monument, to be honest.
Yeah, but now when you want to come like down here to Surin Beach, the second you get to Boat Avenue or like the police station, like it's jammed there at certain parts. In a car. Or even on a bike. It's not.
For me to get here on a bike is fine. For me to get back, even on a bike, like the way back, for some reason, everyone's going that way. The way back is always congested.
Yeah. On
the way here, it was fine. But everyone going that way is like boom, 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 bumper to bumper.
Yeah, it's crazy. Those days of like, I used to, on a Sunday or a Saturday, like an afternoon, like, okay, I'm just going to get on the bike and go for a drive. Like, those days are done in Phuket. Like, we went down, me and I forget what we had to do. It was a Saturday, but we took the bike down to Rao Wai. I had to meet a guy. And it was a Saturday at like 9 a.m. And it was still like, it was not a comfortable drive to what I used to remember. Like, I remember days where I'd be like, I'm going to drive to Rao Wai. It's a fun drive. It's like those days are done in Phuket. And now it's kind of turning into those Bali vibes where it's like you don't want to end up leaving your bubbles.
Exactly. Saturdays are the worst, though.
Oh.
Saturdays are the absolute worst. Sundays are okay. And during weekdays, kind of. But even now, it's a weekday. And it's like congested all the way up here to Surin.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's why if you're moving here, and especially if you're buying a place, you actively need to think of where you're going to live. And I think the new location is you want to be like Layan to Pasak. So you're out of the shit. Like, you're out of the traffic at least. Because now, imagine you're in Patong and you have to catch a flight at 5 p.m. on a Friday.
You have to leave at 1 p.m.
You'd have to leave at 1 p.m. I wouldn't be surprised. A business would be like set up speedboats in Patong on the beach to take you to the airport.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Because
don't patent. You have to patent that stuff.
Patent pending. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's always some long tail guy. Yeah, but I bet today you could probably get to the airport. Like, say Friday, your flight's at 5 p.m. It's on a Friday. You're in Patong. You got to get to the airport. I bet you get there faster in a long tail.
I think so too, for sure.
Right? It's like it doesn't move. So I'm surprised they haven't set up speedboats for that, because, or at least like that'd be cool if they set up speedboats. Like you set up one in Patong, one in Kalim, and then one at another beach. Because
Why?
Because, for a why, for sure. But people are going to be driving and they're going to be like, oh, we have to get there faster. But the taxi guy knows his buddy that has the speedboat that just like jacks up the price because they know you're about to miss your international flight. And he hits you up for like 20,000 baht.
Maybe not that much. the taxi's going to cost 600 baht. He could probably charge you 1,500 baht.
Yeah, Sean Stenning, 5-star Marine. Go check them out. They used to sponsor this as well.
They don't do this though yet.
Yeah,
but
I think
it's a great idea.
Yeah, I mean, the people from the Middle East, Dubai, that are always coming here. They got cash.
Oh yeah.
They're stuck in Patong. They're trying to get to the airport. I mean, they got their first class Emirates flight they're about to miss. Pfft, they'll drop 20 or 30 on a little speedboat ripping them to Nyan. They'll do it.
Exactly.
There we go. Patent pending. Anyway,
just be careful with the Louis V bags and the long tail, but
yeah. Well, then that's a
idea.
side pirate business we can create.
Swap out the Louis V bags.
Well, no, we have a boat out there, like just waiting.
Just waiting.
Hijacking rich Dubai people trying to get back to their flight. Get a couple Louis bags. Wow. Now you got a serious business. All right.
And then you also have a retrieval team that goes to fight the pirates, and they get a reward money.
Yeah, this is probably the last.
I think
podcast.
we're going too far. We're going too far.
Yeah. Anyways, this will probably be the most famous. Someone's going to take that idea for sure. There's some pirates. I mean, Phuket was a pirate island. We're just taking it to the new generation.
Exactly.
I like where that's headed. Okay. Jumping back into living in Phuket, cost of living. You guys are in your place now. But do you have a contract? When does it end? I mean, do you have to start to think about looking for new places?
Well, we've been living there for 2 years. I think we need to sign again now soon. I'll probably sign again, to be honest. I'm actually messaging the guy and like asking him, can we at some point buy this place?
Wow.
Because it has a lot of potential, and if I just make it nice, because I see all these people moving in next to me, and the two houses next to me were kind of dumps, and now there's a new couple that moved in next door, and they made it so nice. The back area, they built a whole little back area. I'm like, there's so much potential in that house if I actually buy it, but I'm not gonna spend hours in the garden and try to spray down the walls and build stuff if it's not my house.
Yeah, if you're, is it a Thai guy that owns it?
Indian
guy. Yeah, I'm surprised and when does the contract end?
I think in May.
So at least it's going into low season. You get more bargaining power.
Yeah, but I mean, I hope he doesn't raise the price. But I guess he can if he puts in a bit more work. I think the only reason he's not raising the price is because he's not really putting in a lot of work. He has like 4 guys that kind of do everything. Like you get something, there's a plumbing problem. This guy shows up, same guy. And then we have a ceiling problem. Oh, same guy shows up. Gardener, same guy.
Yeah, maybe, if you could buy it, it's probably worth, I'm going to say at least 8-10 million, maybe 12. I wouldn't go 12.
No, I don't think I would go.
8 to 10.
I'd say 7 or 8.
Yeah, you could.
I think I could probably get him because, I mean, we're paying 13. I mean, I don't think this guy's... Yeah, I think we can get him down to 5 to 7.
Yeah, and after your business is open a year, you can get loans on your business. You can...
Exactly.
There you go, and you're ready to roll. And then
it's already been a year now.
Yeah, you can get it.
So that's why I'm pushing this guy. Kind of like
just buy it.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to sell. Like I think it's just like a.
Yeah, I mean he's probably whatever. It's producing a little bit of income for him, and you can just leave it running.
Exactly.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in the middle now because now Phuket's changing. It's like our rent is controlled here because the secret, what I found to do is like, whenever you move in, plan your contract to end in June. So like that's what I always done. So when I move into a place, let's say I move in December, I'll sign for a year and a half. So I know I get the year, and then the next 6 months will hit the June date. Because as a renter in Phuket, you have all the power in the world when your rent ends in the summer. Oh, because they just panic. They go, the Thais will panic. They'll be like, oh, they think they're getting nothing. But if your contract ends in December, you're fucked. Like they'll just be like, "Who are you?" There's a million people.
No way.
Yeah, you'll lose your place. So that's a little tip if you're moving here. Signed always that the contract can end in June, and you can give yourself way more wiggle room.
you'll lose the place, or they will double the rent.
Yes.
They do that. They'll literally double, sometimes almost triple the rent. I have friends that just got kicked out of their place because they literally just more than doubled the rent. It's like, pay the new rent or get out.
At the end of the contract.
At the end of the contract, yeah. But they kind of got here at the end, like in high season.
Yeah.
And then, you know, they didn't know this. They didn't know this yet. They didn't know how they work here.
Yeah, because there's so much demand and they can get it.
For sure.
Yeah, no, it's.
But they're greedy though. Like, I don't understand the logic really around it, because now you get someone that's gonna pay in high season. They're gonna pay this price, but then the rest of the year, what's gonna happen then? You're losing all that money where you had someone consistently paying rent throughout the year. You're making more money, no?
Yeah, it's a very short term thinking mentality. That's why I always try to sign like 2 years. This one, I think we got 2 or 3 years out of it. And then they said, I asked them, they're like, yeah, we'll just extend it in June. And they could get double the rent out of here. So
For sure.
but we'll eventually try to buy a place, but it's crazy here. Good luck trying to buy a place. It's a mental. Like we met so many people, and they'll give you a price online. Let's say one was like, I think it was like 12 million. And we went and checked it out, and we're like, oh, we love it. They're like, and then the agent, I think because she saw me, the homeowner, and she was Thai, and she like whispered something to the agent, and then like they came back, they're like, oh, by the way, online it was 12, but we forgot to update it, so it's 17. I'm like, are you, like, it's the craziest way they increase it. So yeah, you gotta find out.
You kind of have to say you don't love it. Like, you kind of have to push them right until the end where you make the payment.
Yeah, it's
Otherwise, as soon as they see you love it and you're this like Farang guy, like, okay, we can work this guy.
Yeah, I've been getting worked for 6 months. Getting worked hard. Okay, let's jump into the media side. So you got here, you work for EE Media, you did some producing on one of the finest podcasts you've ever seen, and you're continuing in this media world in Phuket. Can you talk? What are some of the like clients that people could expect in that industry? Food, hotel, tourism. What's it been like?
Yes, so food, hotel, tourism for sure. That's the main kind of clients you get out here. But obviously, like, we do marketing, but we try to focus more on consulting, because at the end of the day, people here, like, the seasons go up and down and their budget doesn't always stay the same. So you kind of need to train people to take care of their own stuff. You know, if you're coming here as a marketing person, you can't expect someone to pay you a certain your retainer throughout the whole year. You know what I mean? They can't afford it. There's certain stages where they're making a lot of money, and then they will pay you because then, you know, there is that income. But during the low season, you know, you can't really expect them to pay that anymore because they're not making money. And it's not like you need to somehow pull a rabbit out of a hat to find them customers, because they don't exist. You know what I mean? So you kind of need to find other avenues to make money. So we focus on consulting more, you know, but we do the full service as well. And then production is a much bigger job up here in Phuket or anywhere in Thailand, I think, because you can get people to film things right through the year, like your podcast, rich people that want to do podcasts that are bored, whatever. There are so many of them around. And then other productions like commercials, and there are a lot of like German companies here, German and Swedish companies that do like The Bachelor and all kinds of those different things. And they always need like a data wrangler, or they need someone to help them with editing, or they need a cameraman for the day. There's always those jobs right through the year if you want to focus more on that. And then as a marketing person, if you're only doing marketing, I would say to build up a profile and do like a consulting kind of thing instead. You know, instead of trying to reach out to a bunch of businesses here in Phuket, because especially restaurants, they never really have the budget that you put out there, you know. Anyways, so did I answer your question?
Yeah. So I mean, these companies, like, for example, these restaurants, we get it. There's high season, there's low season, and they just don't have the cash flow where their budget can go towards marketing. Do you end up having to like part ways with them and then coming back at different times of the season? But then obviously your schedule could get full, so it's hard to wrangle them back in.
No, we always find a way to keep them going throughout the year, right? So we always prepare for low season, and we never just drop them, because if they get to a point where they feel like, sorry, we can't do this anymore because we can't afford you, then it means like you've kind of been failing them in the high season. You've kind of been failing them the whole time. If they reach that point where they're like, sorry, we can't pay, even if it's just 10,000 baht, just to keep them going, you know what I mean? So we try not to part ways with them. We're very flexible with the budget, and we have strategies for high and low season, and we already in high season while everything is going and crazy. You can't get content and just chill, you have to kind of plan for this low season that's coming now, so you already need to plan what is your income going to be in that next low season, what are the strategies that we can implement to maybe target more expats, target people that are living here permanently. And now luckily, after COVID, there's a lot more long stayers here, a lot more people that come for 3 months, 4 months, they come to train. Now there's a lot of real estate, etc. So real estate is also great clients.
Real estate marketing.
Yeah, real estate marketing. Also great clients because there's so many of them.
But is it a lot of the real estate marketing, is it turning more towards the Russian market?
For sure.
Like that's the marketing.
For sure.
Yeah, that's what's crazy. Like if you look at all the buildings being built, like nothing against Russians, but it's ugly. Like a lot of these condos and villas, like
very cookie cutter.
I went to, the big one over there in Bangkok where it's like orange and it's like the huge thing. It's like
looks like a boat.
No, it's literally by the old Revolution. It's the huge hotel, but they also have houses in there. It's all orange brick. It's massive. It's not a hotel. It's like condos. I think Carrie used to live there.
Is it behind Bangkok?
It's like not far from here. You can see it if you're on any viewpoints, the biggest orange brick looking thing you can see out there. This thing, and like I went in the other day and it's like, man, it's ugly. Sorry, but hopefully I don't get stabbed. But a lot of them, and there's some in the back roads of Bangtao, and when you go look at like the new construction here, the building material, like you can see the brick they're using. It's like that red brick, right? You can see that's the foundation. Just go drive around in them. Those places are going to fall apart in about 5 years. So
sketchy. These people, like a lot of them are just popping up now, and because a lot of these, I've seen a lot of the places that they've been building for the last 5 years, and then all of a sudden now, boom, 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 it's finished, right? Because they saw, now they got an investor, there's all this influx in Phuket, but I think there's a lot of, and I've worked with a lot of these real estate agents, and they're super sketchy, man. Like they do weird kind of paperwork, they're not very trustworthy people, and they sell you all kinds of stuff, and then I would do like a landing page, and then they would say, oh, put this on the landing page, there's a family mart, there's onsen, there's a this and that in the area, and I'm like,
there's no,
dude, we're in the middle of nowhere. There's not even a 7-Eleven there. You know what I mean? But we have to put it on the website, and it's all renderings, so everything looks amazing. And these people are not here right now. They can invest. They start investing, and then they get here. They're like, oh shit.
Yeah, they're all buying off. Oh, what happened to my headphone? Did your headphone cut out?
No.
My headphone. That was weird. One sec. Headphone difficulty. Testing. Oh, we're back. Yeah, all these like off plan. So they're buying off plan. But I mean, At the end of the day, do your own research as well. But yeah, these places popping up. The places that if I was moving here and looking towards, it'd be like the Botanicas, the Anchons, the Anchon Lagoon, like Anchon, anything with like Botanica and Anchon, they're building up high quality stuff. Hit me up, sponsorship. Anchon, Botanica, unless you're the same group, like double sponsorship. Anyways. Yeah, that was my let's get a sponsorship plug from them and maybe a house.
Does that ever work?
I don't know. It's the first one. Let's try. I'm gonna cut that up, make
come
it a
on.
reel.
There's been many.
Yeah, we're trying to get sponsored. No, we're all good. We sponsor our own podcast.
happened
Just
to-
buy our mushrooms.
Sean.
But the old because we stopped with 5-star when it went into low season, which it's exactly what you said. It's like they hit low season, and then what ends up happening is then you hit high season, and they're just too busy.
Exactly.
So it's and they're doing so well. Trust me, they don't need our fucking
Yeah.
podcast. They don't need it. But what we're looking at now when we're out and buying is like the older houses that are older than 15 years old, like the construction material, the foundation.
Yes.
It's way better in terms of like the quality. Those new places, like they're going to be a nightmare in 5 years. Like it just looks cheap.
100%. Yeah. I would just buy an old place that's very well built back in the day and just spend all the money that you would have spent on that new place just to refurbish the place. Make it look nice.
Yeah, and then at least you know in those older places there's not going to be a lot of construction. You ever like now when you drive back Bangzhou area and you see all the rubber plantations like and the development there, that road is like past that gate and then the new one. I found a new village in past that gate, but talking about the Bangzhou and the rubber plantations, I can see like that is going. Where is everybody going to go? Like Phuket is about to turn into an absolute nightmare in the next 5 years. Where are people going to drive? I'm even thinking actively like, and it can't just be me. Like, where do we go next? Like,
I think this year is going to be very pivotal. I think, it's going to be like this. It's going to turn into Bali at the end of this year. Like the next high season, like even this high season, it's not ending. Like it seems to there's more and more people. It's even more people now than there were in December. Everyone in December was saying, "Oh no, it's not what they expected." But now it's getting slowly building up, and now April is coming. Songkran is coming, and the extended Songkran. It's gonna be insane out here in Phuket.
yeah, we were. I don't know where's next. I mean, we're thinking Phang Na, but it's just too far.
It's gonna be boring.
I know. And then we were thinking,
You want to find that middle ground. Phang Na is super boring. Phuket is super overwhelming.
yeah, I don't. Maybe
Live on the bridge.
We were up visiting my buddy John Gibbons, the guy the osteopath, the knee doctor.
Yes.
And we went up for dinner with him in Nyan. And honestly, on a Friday night, it's fun. Nyan is completely changed. It's like there's a lot going on, and just when you go up there on a Friday or Saturday, you kind of feel like you got a mini vacation.
Nyan, that's like just over
the
the
airport.
bridge.
It's the airport. No,
Sorry.
It's
Yes.
the airport,
That's
but
the
my cow's past the airport.
Yes.
Nyan's right there. It's completely alive. Nyan used to be like reggae bars, and there was one Italian spot there. Nyan now has like 30 different bars, restaurants. The beach is nice. There's live music. It's actually not bad for a Friday night. You can have a couple beers and drive back. And what's crazy, we even drove back at like 10 o'clock. The second you hit Boat Avenue again, boom, bumper to bumper. And then you just got to get home. But we were thinking Nyan. The only thing holding me back is like, I do like, shout out Bang Tao, Muay Thai, and MMA. I just like that gym and going there. And the beaches right here and the community. Because when you go do the drive to Nyan and you start getting halfway, or you start to realize like, holy shit, this is far.
Yeah, for sure. I kind of miss Bangkok. I haven't been there in a while. And they had that separation anxiety for a while, for probably like 2 months. And then I don't know what the point was where I was trying to get to. I was trying to talk about Bangkok. Shout out Bangkok. I miss you guys. I'll be back soon.
With the just the distance to these places like your Nyans and your
For me, it's a bit of a drive actually. For you, it's super close. But I did that drive to Bangkok every day, and it's about 15 minutes. And even that's kind of like almost impractical for me because I got really busy, and now I need to drive 15 minutes there. I spend an hour there, and afterwards you spend another 15, 20 minutes talking to people. And now you're driving back 15 minutes again, and now you're trying to get into you have to shower, you have to eat something, and now it's already, midday.
Yeah.
If you're not a focused fighter, if you're not focused on fighting, if you're not in like a camp or something, it's not really that practical for entrepreneurs to gym there all the time, especially if you're not living at the gym.
Yeah, for us it's okay. It's 2 minutes. It's actually the best gym for me in this area. But I think if I moved out, there's one up in Nyan, you just wouldn't go. But it's Yeah, that's the one thing holding me here. It's a good crowd to be around, and
The gym?
there's the only thing going on around here. Like, and the gym, you can go there at 5:30 in the morning if you want.
Oh yeah.
So I mean that has that going for it, but Nai An could be an option. I checked out Nai Thon, but the prices are crazy, man. Like
Really?
go on Fazwaz and just check out Nai Thon. Still the rent's 50,000 baht for like nothing. My friend, so John, we won't disclose where he lives there. He found a 3-bedroom house, 5 million baht for sale, and it's awesome.
What?
Yeah, it's really nice. If you're looking for it, I'm thinking to buy it. The price doesn't even make sense. It's so good that I'm like, something's wrong.
Furnished?
Dude, it's sick. It looks like it's worth 8 to 10, and he said they sell it at 6 and they'll take 5.
Swimming pool?
No swimming pool.
It doesn't matter.
But it's nice. It's a proper house in a community right in Nai An, and he's staying at his friend's house, and it's quite nice as well. And I'm like, but something doesn't make sense. I'm like, maybe this guy's got 20 million back loan on the land deed here, because I mean 5 million. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but my point of that story is, if you're looking to buy or build, like Nai An is way more viable, and eventually Phuket's just gonna push that way. The only thing kind of missing when you move up to Nai An is there isn't that expat local community. You're not so far from Boat Avenue.
Unless you want that, though. I feel like I'm at that point where I'm like, I want to get away a little bit, move away from all, because there's a lot of temptation out here in this area, especially. You know, every Friday you're kind of so bored, and it's just easy to go to the beach and spend 2,000 baht on beers and whatever. So I think everyone hits that stage where they live here in this area for a while, and then after a few years they're kind of like, damn, I need to get my life together, and then they start to move out towards those areas.
Well, you get that like 7-year itch, they say, after a while. It's the same shit over and over again.
Remember the 7-year itch.
Yeah. It's something else now. But I think Nai An could be an option. It's not bad to Boat Avenue. You're probably talking, it's 15 minutes. But the thing is, once you get out to Nai An, like, you forget about going to like southern Bang Tao. Forget about going. You'll never go. It's like 30, 40 minutes to Surin Beach from there. Oof, so, but that's fine. And Nai An, you're only 2 minutes to Nai Thon, and Nai Thon's a good beach as well. Like, Nai Thon's not bad. So
and you have Banana Beach up there.
Yeah, that's an option. I'm thinking about that. Maybe I've talked myself into it. It's just, you cut out this whole like community here. There's never been much. It's mostly a drunk ass community up here.
Yeah, for sure. That's what it is.
Yeah, but it's I
mean, if you have a bunch of friends in the gym and you make and that's your lifestyle, and you're not really a drunk, you're more like a fitness person, you can stay up here, and there's a big community of people that are focused on fitness, and that's kind of okay, you know?
Yeah, I mean, the way I've kind of stopped going out, and I would go out like once a week, and now it's once a month, is I just changed my like sleep schedule. So like I get up naturally at like 4:30, 5. So on a Friday night, I don't have energy at 9 p.m. like to be like, okay, I'm just going to go out to the local for 1, because there's no such thing as 1. I know it's going to be 100. So I'm better off, like, I know mentally that I'm just so tired that I'll literally eat and still be in bed at 9:30. And that's the way to like get out of it. But
for sure.
Okay, we're going to wrap it up soon, but let's talk a little bit about your experience starting a media company, specifically in Thailand, in Phuket. You've been doing it about almost 2 years now, yeah?
Yeah, well, media I've been doing since probably 2017. And in Thailand, we started the business at the end of 2021. Yeah.
What were some of the lessons you've learned, like, from the beginning to today? Like, you know, especially maybe someone listening to this, to starting a media company. How are you going to help your competitors get past you faster? No, but I mean, some lessons learned of like, oh, fuck, I would have done this different or whatever.
What I definitely would have done different was like the whole visa and registration. That process can be a nightmare if you go through the wrong people. I'm not saying I went through the wrong people necessarily, but the situation I had was just a nightmare. I ended up waiting 6 months for my work permit. There was a lot of backlog with the accounting and the taxes and everything. So that ended up costing me a lot more money than it had to. So I would say if you're registering your business, you need to go through someone that's done it, or you have to go to a friend that's done it already, and they need to recommend a person to you. Because we kind of just went to an agency, and the agency just recommended a lawyer. You know what I mean? And that wasn't, I don't think that's the best way to kind of do it. You have to go to someone that's been through that process, you know, that they can tell you, okay, this is what I paid. This is what you kind of need to do. And if when you start hitting obstacles, they can say, oh, yes, we also hit this obstacle. This is how you have to approach that. That's I'd say that the biggest lesson that I've learned for sure. And then definitely get on top of your accounting.
Yeah.
Because if you kind of just let that backlog and you kind of just let it go, it builds up, and then you have a big surprise at the end of the year. Especially if they want to audit you or anything like that, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah, I do my accounting every day. Like as in like if I get an invoice, oh, you didn't send me that invoice yet.
I didn't?
No, I wrote back to you.
I didn't send it on WhatsApp.
Yeah. But I found like if you give me that invoice and I have it, I will literally pay it, print it, get you to give me the copy, stamp it, and file it away. Like every document for accounting, because you have to submit, like at the end of the month, I'm submitting a paper stack like that. I'm talking like 3 inches thick, like a whole thing. Every invoice, every expense, every piece of paperwork. You have to print the physical hard copies, request the physical hard copies from your suppliers, submit it and mail it to your accountant. So every time you get a document, I found like if you don't do it right away, let's say you wait a week, 1, you might forget about it, or 2, just like now you're spending half a day doing accounting. It's a nightmare. Thailand accounting is 20 years behind here.
The other thing that I wanted to mention was, so what we're doing marketing. And I mentioned before, not if you're coming as a marketing person, not to necessarily target businesses, etc. But what we do more is we target, say, influencers. Not really influencers, but people that want to share their voice and also make a revenue. Because that, at the end of the day, that's the point. That's why you're doing it, right? You want to make some kind of, it's a creative outlet, but you want to kind of monetize it in a way. That's the only reason why you would approach a marketing company, is because you want to monetize your content. So that's the other advice that I'm trying to give, is to focus more on these kind of people that live out here and that you can kind of market, they're not dependent on the tourist industry, which goes up and down, the seasons that go up and down.
I guess you could just search for them most of the time by hashtag Expat Phuket.
Yeah, hashtag yoga teacher.
And they're the ones that pop up at the top usually, right?
Yes.
And then you reach out to them.
Exactly. Or you can look at all these studios, or there's a lot of yoga teachers out here, and it's a lot of them that have money. And then you can see them in the tagged, how they're tagged in different studios. I've got a frog in my throat.
Yeah. Oh.
And gyms, especially gyms, attract a lot of like these fitness people, and fitness people love to make content. And then what else? Well, yeah. Hotels have a lot of influencers that come in to stay. I think hotels are pretty good clients as well, you know. What we're doing is taking more of like with hotels, we try to do like an approach where we kind of get more of like a free stay, where we can make content for them. And then, because that's not really, you can't really make a lot of money that way, you know what I mean? But you can build a lot of brand awareness for yourself at the same time.
Building your own portfolio.
Yes.
Yeah, working with those hotels. Yeah, I'm going to assume a lot of these fitness gurus or yoga teachers, it's like most of the time, let's be honest, they're with some old rich dude that's just bankrolling them, and they need to 100%. Do something. They got to do something.
Exactly.
And they need to stay active. So they old daddy's bank. They got deep pockets from Daddy Warbucks. And yeah, great. Yeah, hit them up.
But most of them, they're means to an end. You know, at the beginning they know nothing. They're like, I'm trying to build my profile and I want to make content, etc. and then I kind of break down for them. This first month we're going to do a lot of filming, we're going to do a lot of editing, etc. So it's going to cost you this month, but next month you're going to save a lot of money because we don't need to do all that filming because we've already backed up a bunch of content for 2 months.
Yeah.
And then we eventually, like, we consult them into figuring out how to do it themselves. You know what I mean? So I don't really stick with these people. You know, I don't always stick with them because there's a big influx of them always coming in. So you kind of, that's the other thing you need to prepare for. It's like people aren't always gonna just stick with you because they kind of figure it out. The whole marketing, social media thing, they figure it out, right? And they don't want to spend all that money every month.
What's the difference of, let's say, an influencer, a hotel, and any type of potential client dealing with NewMadic Media, right? NewMadic, no?
Yeah.
Why, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Heinrich.
Yeah, dealing with NewMadic Media compared to maybe going out and dealing with like these larger agencies. What are some of the pros and cons there?
So definitely a pro is we have a much more personal connection with you, right? Working with me and with Chante and I, we connect with our clients in a much more personal way. We're always kind of, I don't want to say on standby, but we're much more flexible and available to our clients. And in doing that, in creating this more personal connection with our clients, it's much easier to get comfortable when they work with us, get comfortable when they want to ask some certain questions. You know, that nothing's really going over the head. We kind of break down everything for them so they kind of understand what's going on in their marketing and they don't just see, oh, something is posted, what was the purpose behind it, da, da, da. And also working with us, it's not like we're not a big company, so you don't have to fork out thousands of baht, but like hundreds of thousands of baht, because that's the kind of a con with working with bigger marketing companies is it ends up costing you a lot of money and you end up working with a big team and then you kind of get lost in the weeds with like, oh, this person is doing this and this and this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, they got bills to pay. They might have an account rep, someone doing photography. Sure. Things get disconnected.
100%.
I mean, Hans, I can just call him up and be like, what the fuck? But no, it keeps you more connected to the client. There's more. I mean, at the end of the day, you're the decision maker. You get to work directly with them compared to maybe agencies. You might never connect with the owner ever.
Yeah, I think what we created with NewMadic Media is we've humanized our brand a lot because it stemmed from like a travel page that we created, NewMadic Media or NewMadic Travel, sorry. And then NewMadic Media came from that. And from the beginning, our faces are there. We humanized it completely. You know, you're connecting with real humans. You're not connecting with an agency. I feel a lot of these agencies, when you send them a DM on WhatsApp, you don't know who you're talking to. You know, it could be some Thai employees, you know what I mean? But we try to create that connection with our clients that they know that they're speaking to a human and we kind of understand them. We try to listen to their needs and then try to make that into content, into revenue.
And the content strategies, the social media, everything's very tailored and specific. It's not just copy and paste.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay, we got to run over to Kaito Sports and do some filming with Peter. He's German, so if I'm a minute late, he might kill me. So we're going to wrap this up right now. Now, before we do that, I'm going to pass the camera back to Hans on the big camera here. Just let everyone know we're probably not going to put the links in the description, but if we remember, they're there. So shoot over to that camera and you can just slide me the how many you bought for this promo. Where is it? Under the table. I'm joking. All right, go.
You can follow me on _Hans Media. You could just type in Heinrich if you know how to spell that. You can follow our business at NewMadic Media. You can go to our website, newmadicmedia.com. And you can just send us an email as well at info@newmadicmedia.com. That's NEWMADIC. NewMadic.
All right. I didn't really listen to that, so
You don't have to.
I'll put a link in the
people
description.
need to listen
so
to that.
I know he's expanding, so any OnlyFans, Pornhub, you know, there's huge opportunity for you guys out there with NewMadic Media.
Exactly.
I think it's that one's X_NewMadic Media. It's a different Instagram.
XXX.
Yeah, got it. Okay, so we're going to wrap that up. Big shout out to Hans and Franz, Heinrich Badenhorst. That was another so episode. No, it was a banger. I hope we liked it.
Kind of rushed, but yeah, it's cool.
It wasn't that. I bet we probably did almost an hour.
Yeah,
I think
so.
almost an hour. We're going to run over, do some content, film. I'm probably a bit late. That wraps up another episode. Leave comments, like, subscribe, buy some mushrooms, do all that stuff. We're out.